Hello, welcome to Butch's Building Blocks. I'm Butch. Today I've come up with a great idea on making a serving board. We're going to take this highly figured piece of black walnut, cut off a 12-inch piece, and we're going to split it right down the middle and make a bookend out of it. That'll be the top part of our serving board. The ends, I have plans for probably maple handles that will attach onto it and give it a super cool look. The original thickness of my board was 3/4 of an inch. After getting the curl out of it, we are now down to 5/8. I'm going to take this 5/8 inch piece of lumber, I'm going to run it through my table saw and split it in half. Now that I've cut off my piece, it's got a little twist to it, so I'm going to glue it onto a sled, run it through my planer, flatten out one side, and then do the same for the other side. After I split this in half, I needed to run it back through the surface planer in order to get the saw marks out of it. We are now looking at a piece of wood that is 5/16 inch in thickness. "13 inches long and 7 1/4 inches wide. Doing the best you can, line up the grain patterns so that they match. Remember, you're talking about a living tree, and as it moves and grows, things are going to shift. So you're never going to get perfectly lined up ends. Just do the best you can with what you think is most important. Right, let's rotate our pieces around and let's clean up this other side. Sanded these pieces a little bit so that you can see the beauty of making bookends. Look at how this grain is a mirror image to itself. This will end up being a magnificent serving tray when we're finished. Knowing that our black walnut is 5/16 of an inch thick, that's not enough to support a good serving tray. I dug through my pile of scraps and I came up with 2 pieces of cherry that I had used for something else but had discarded them for one reason or another. I need to plane the 2 pieces of cherry down, and we will use the cherry as the backing for our black walnut. The cherry should complement the black walnut colors, therefore adding to our serving tray. The first thing we're going to do with our cherry is trim it up to length. As you can see, I've set my stop block here, measured the length of my black walnut off my zero cut sled. From here, I will cut the cherry to length first, and then we will get the width second. I have cut our black long walnut and cherry to the exact same length. I've set my stop block for the width, and now I will cut the cherry pieces to match. Earlier in this video, I had these boards sized width and length exactly as my black walnut. That's a mistake. You never want to have glue joints that are like this. It's very weak, it will break. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this board in the center. And now I'm going to take this board and cut it so that it will fit on either side. That way we'll have much more stability on our serving tray. These are the pieces we're going to be using for our backing. We will glue these on. After they're glued on, we'll come back and square up all the edges. I've glued the black walnut bookend pieces onto the cherry, and then I squared up the edges so everything is at 90 degrees to each other. This thickness now is 3/4 of an inch, which gives us a nice solid base to work off of. The next thing we need to do is design our handles. Here is a pine blank that I made to test things out. I love to test things out with pine. It's not expensive. If I make a mistake, I throw it away and get another piece. But as you can see, it looks pretty darn good. Nice little handholds, keep it up off the table or serving area nicely. So we're good. This block is 8 inches long and 2 3/4 inches high, with a 3/4 inch groove cut in at the full length to hold our board. Now for these radiuses here, I actually used a dinner plate. Just found one that fit, giving me approximately 7/8 of an inch on either side. For this curvature up here, once again, found a little teacup, plopped it on there, and drew it in place. Comes out perfect. I have marked a radius on all of the sides. This mark being in center for my 8-inch piece that will fit on top. There. And so you can see that the curvature will come right up to the handhold on both sides, giving it a nice even flow and smoothness throughout it. That's our plan. That's where we're going. I will cut these radiuses on my bandsaw. I will get some maple stock, or I'm not quite sure exactly, but I will get some 1-inch thick stock, most likely to end up being 7/8 because that's where most of mine is. And we will make these. Once I get these all put together, we'll test run them, see how they look. The serving tray is starting to take shape. As you can see, I've cut the radii on all 4 sides. Instead of maple, I decided to go with hickory for my handles. I really like the characteristics of hickory. Not only is it strong and hard, it's got beautiful grain pattern, and it just looks good when you're finished with it. The first thing I did was cut my 3/4 inch slot to fit my board. We have 1 inch from the bottom to the slot, 3/4, and then almost an inch to the top. These pieces fit very nicely onto the sides. Next is to cut the curves on the top side and the larger arc on the bottom. I have finished cutting on the bandsaw, and I've also sanded them smooth. Next step now is to put a 1/4 inch round on all these pieces. I've finished making a 1/4 inch round over on both sides of our board. I also did the handles so they are nicely rounded over. So, taking a quick peek at it. That's kind of what we're looking at. I need to do a lot of sanding. We're going to start at 120 grit, work our way up to 320, and we're going to do a water pop between each grit to make sure that we get it nice and smooth. Our bookend serving board has now been sanded to 320 grit. I have test fitted my handles on both sides. They fit very nicely. It's now time to glue my handles to the board. I will be using walrus oil cutting board oil to bring out all the beauty and highlights of the black walnut and to make the hickory look a little nicer also. Let's see what we get when we pour this onto our serving tray. There it is. The oil certainly did bring out the mirror image, darken that walnut up very nicely. I will let this soak in for several hours or however much it needs until it gets into the wood, and then we'll apply another coat to it. The bookend serving tray is complete. It's come out very good. The bookends match. The color of the black walnut is good. The hickory on the side and the cherry on the bottom does nothing but enhance it. It's very nice, easy to hold, easy to carry. I think it came out marvelous. The only thing I would do if I had a choice was I would make my bookend split a solid piece. I don't think this is going to affect the construction or anything else, but I think just having one solid piece of bookend would be better for long term. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little project. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. I'll do my best to give you a good answer.